Hey ladies and gents, it's RF Rift here, and today we're going through another Getsu Fuma video. Now today what we're going to be doing is building off my previous video about getting you through Limbo, and now we're going to be talking about the Hellfire Cliffs. So in this rundown, I'm going to change it up a little bit, and I'm going to run through specific areas we need to pay attention to, and dive into the boss a little bit more. We're going to pay a lot more attention to the Colossal Centipede. Reason why is because it's more difficult than the original biome, and we want to make sure that everyone knows what's going on there. So, without further ado, let's get into this. So, the first thing we want to pay attention to with the Hellfire Cliffs are the enemies. Now, in this case, we're going to be seeing 5 different types of enemies. We're going to see 2 returning types, aka the Oni and the Ghouls. Those guys, the Onis and the Skeletons. Those guys, they're pretty easy. As we mentioned before, with the Oni, you're going to want to make sure you roll through their swing. Get behind them to do the most damage, because you cannot roll backwards. It's not as effective. Roll forward, roll through them, then you get your combo off, okay? That's the easiest way to do it. If you're running the katana and you want to parry them, feel free to do that as well. That one works pretty easily. The skeletons, don't even bother to worry about them. Just mow through them with 1 combo or 2 combos, depending on how far you are in the game in regards to your upgrades. Now let's talk about the new things. We have the Triclops, the Ghouls, and the Flame Wheels. Now the Flame Wheels have a fancy name. I forgot what it is. I didn't write it down. My bad. Flame wheels are the most annoying thing on this list. That's why I'm going to talk about them right now. They will come out of nowhere. You are randomly going to be just going about your day, and they're going to try and run you over. And it is very hard to roll through them. The reason why is because you have to hit the timing perfectly, and it's a moving object that's coming at you relatively quickly. What I highly recommend doing here is just jumping them. If you can literally get the vertical clearance, please do it. If you can't, try and practice the roll through. I screwed up a lot, but practice makes perfect. You'll be able to get through it. If you're someone who's running bombs like I do for my secondary, just throw them at them as fast as possible. Get them out of your way. Life will be easy there. Just make sure you see them coming, or be prepared to pop a potion after you get hit. They will burn you, which will be 50 damage, I do believe, and it'll be a recurring burn, so be prepared for that. The other 2 new enemies are the Triclops and the Ghouls. The Triclops are super easy. They come in 2 variations, one tiny and one large. Both of them you can knock through relatively quickly. They only have 1 attack, which is their tongue attack, which is a pretty telegraphed, and you can just roll out of the way of that one. Quick little note with those guys though, sometimes they're just floating through the walls. Feel free to just attack them. There's no problem just swinging your sword at the wall. You'll actually proc the damage there, and you can kill them pretty quickly that way, and they won't be able to do damage at you. So that's pretty easy. Last one is the Ghouls. Now the Ghouls do have a little bit of a weird thing with them, as they will lunge at you. That is their only attack. They will come flying at you like a bat out of hell. Yeah, I know. I shouldn't have made a hell joke with Hellfire Cliffs, but I thought it'd be funny. Anyway, with that, if you see it coming, roll through it like I said, or just combo them down really quickly. That's what I usually do. Once again, I'm upgraded enough here where I can usually combo them down with 1 set, but if you need to, hit them, then roll, or roll through them, then hit them. Up to you. Only thing with the Ghouls is they will bleed you, so heads up with that. You might need to pop a potion after it, but popping a potion right after you get hit will stop the bleed damage, which is important to note. On to the second thing that is affected with the run. That is the souls and the chests. Now, as mentioned, souls are super important. I mentioned this in my previous video. You're going to want to make sure you set up your run and know kind of a basis on where you want to start with your souls. So, quick couple things here. You're going to get a minimum of 6 souls. Reason why is because you're going to get 4 large chests, 2 small chests, and 2 elites at a minimum. You can get more depending on the map that you were given. Feel free to take a look and just kind of practice your way, kind of feel what's good for you in regards to your soul layout. But I will always make sure that I have 2 body upgrades. I usually get 1 in Limbo, and then I get 1 in Hellfire Cliffs. Reason why is because at this point you've basically doubled your health bar. It means you can probably take 4 to 5 hits depending on what you're getting hit by, which is pretty big in this game because of the fact that everything's pretty telegraphed, and you will learn quickly how to avoid most damage. Other things to remember is to always disassemble any weapons you aren't using. Reason why is because you are going to want to make sure you get the parts to be able to upgrade weapons or unlock them, because guess what? You always want to try and widen your arsenal. Other than that though, pretty straightforward here. The elites are probably going to be a big skeleton or a big Oni, and there's a chance it's a ghoul. I haven't seen an upgraded flame wheel in a while, so hopefully you don't see one of those, because those do suck. Alright, so last thing we need to talk about before we get into the boss here is the map layout. Now, you're going to see 4 kind of run-throughs I've done, and this is going to stay the same roughly for all Hellfire Cliffs. There is a pattern to them. The big thing is you are going to start off bottom left-hand corner, and you are going to basically go up and to the right, stonks. That's what we want in this game. Biggest thing you're going to notice here is you're always going to be descending first. So you're going to drop into a little cliff there, almost like it's called Hellfire Cliffs, and then you're going to climb the cliff afterwards, which means you're going to go down and then work your way over. There will be some alcoves or some kickouts that will have some extra stuff. You will notice each one of these isn't as straightforward as you would think it is, and there's always going to be a little bit of an extra area. That's fine. I always recommend trying to explore a little bit, and the reason why is this. You'll want to find the frickin' stone tablet. It's a free potion for every map. Get it because it basically makes sure that you don't have, or you can erase some damage. I don't know about you guys, but I am not a perfect player. I'm going to take damage because I'm trying to push it a little bit, and I'm also trying to get, as much out of my weapons as possible, because guess what? I want to try and go a little bit fast, which means I'm going to take the time to explore a little bit to make sure I can take the damage. I don't really care about going to the shops. 9 times out of 10, I don't have enough gold to buy anything, or the weapon I'm using I'm completely fine with. I don't really risk it on those too often, but I want to make sure I can get the stone tablet because it gives you the crafting stuff, and most importantly, it gives you the potion. Sometimes you don't even have to pick up the potion. Just leave it there, come back for it at the end. You're always going to get a teleporter right by the boss door. So make sure you get there, and make sure, remember, you're always going up and to the right. So you're going to go down first and then work your way over. That's what you need to know with this map. Now we are into the fun part of this video. We're going to be talking about the Colossal Centipede. Now this is the boss for the Hellfire Cliffs, and he's a bit of a spooky dude. The reason why is because he's got more phases or more ways to attack you than the original boss, which makes it a little bit harder. A couple things we're going to talk about first, though, that we need to know. First of all, it has several different attacks, and they're going to be random patterns. Nothing follows the same. It's not like you're going to see the exact same moveset every time, so it'll keep you on your toes. You're always going to be wanting to aim for the head or the tail. Reason why is because they are bright red, and that's where he takes damage, so make sure you slap him around. That's where you're aiming. Staying close is going to prevent the poison shots, and I'll explain that a little bit more, but basically you always want to be up in this guy's grill. You don't want to give him room, because if you do, he's going to shoot poison at you, and then you're not going to get chances to do damage. And then last but not least, you're going to get a debuff if you get bitten. So if it head strikes you and you get hit, you're going to take an attack debuff, which isn't fun. It's going to slow down your damage, so be prepared for that. So, as mentioned, ladies and gents, there are 4 phases. Now, I'm going to run through these phases real quick, kind of give you a bit of a rundown of each one, and then we're going to watch a video of me beating the boss. Now, I'm going to slap that in there, and then I'm going to kind of add my commentary over top, so hopefully that works out nicely for all of us. For this, a couple things you want to know. There's 4 phases. The first one is the pillar. Now, he's going to be sitting in the center. Now, I'm calling the Colossal Centipede he. I'm going to assume, I know that's probably, I should probably just saying it, but we're just going to stick with it for this video. I've been saying too much already. So he's going to be sitting in the center pillar. At this point, you can hit him in his tail. Unload all your damage. If you're throwing bombs, be prepared. You're probably going to miss. You'll probably see me miss a few in the video. But this is when you're going to do the damage. He sometimes attacks you as he comes off, so be prepared. But other than that, he's just going to go hide in the corner. Then there's phase 2, which is vertical strikes. Now, it's important to note that phase 2, 3, and 4 can come at any time. It is not a straight up phase. Not like a standard boss where it has things that actually goes in order. So with this, be prepared for any of them. If there is a scream, if he lets out a scream sound, he is coming at you with one of those attacks that come across the screen, okay? If this occurs, you're going to either want to dodge roll through him or run to the opposite side of the screen that he is coming from. So if he's coming from the left, run to the right. If he's coming from the right, run to the left. It'll help you dodge out. There's no easy way to tell you where to dodge each time because it is not standardized. So you're just going to have to get used to it, okay? But with the vertical strikes and the horizontal strikes, if he is coming out and staying vertical or horizontal out of the walls, get close to the centipede. Reason why is because he will not shoot out the poison ball and he will try and strike you where you stand. Now normally you might be like, yo Rift, standing somewhere where someone's going to hit me is a bad idea, man. I don't know how many video games you've played, But that doesn't sound like a good idea. Trust me. You're going to have time to roll it out of the way. You roll the way, his head is then stuck in the ground, doing the whole ostrich thing. So what that means is you get to unload damage. So let him strike, roll out of the way, hit him a few times, then he's going to go back up and do his next move. Cool? Do it that way because if he shoots out the poison ball at you, you don't get a chance to actually unload damage unless you were like jumping to hit him, which doesn't let you do as much damage as if you were on the ground. Final phase is oh he running, and yes, I took way too long to try and name that. And this is the time you're going to jump. The screen is going to get red on either side. So if he's coming from the left-hand side, the left-hand side of your screen is going to get red. If he's coming from the right-hand side, the right-hand side of your screen is going to get red. Jump. Jump over him. If he hits you with this move, it does 675 damage. Now you might be like, yo, Riff, why do you know that one exactly? Because I've been hit with it a few times because I'm not that smart and I don't jump properly. But it's easy to jump. Pay attention. As the fight goes on, he's going to be coming faster at you, so it's actually easier to jump on top of that one. Just be prepared to double jump when you see him, and you should be good to go. Land on his back, and then do your damage again. You'll be able to spit out all the damage you want, even if you were using twin blades and you pressed the triangle button, or you pressed your alternate button. For me, it's a Y because I use an Xbox controller, where you do the little spin thing. You're still doing damage to him even though you're on top of him. I don't know how it works. The hitbox is kind of weird, but you can just dump out your damage there. If you kind of follow this, these are the only phases there are, and you're going to have a chance to put out damage every time, which helps you out. So with that, I'm going to jump into kind of a video quick here of it, and that'll be the end of it. So let's rock and roll. Here's a rundown of the Colossal Centipede. As you can see off the hop, I'm just going to put out damage. When he's sitting in the center there, feel free to put out as much as you can. And this is an example of the vertical strikes. You're going to get close to him, so he'll attack me, and then you can put out your damage relatively quickly. I'm probably not optimizing my damage here as much as I could be, but it's pretty quick. There's one of his attacks from going horizontal, kind of hard to dodge sometimes, and if I would have ran farther, I probably would have done better. And as you can see, I get hit by the centipede. Centipede charge is kind of annoying, but you should be able to land a little bit better than I did there. At this point, it's just staying close and doing damage. Most bosses, you're going to think, hey, shouldn't I stay farther away from them so I have more time to react? In this case, no, you want to stay up in his grill. Staying up close and personal lets you just put out the damage as fast as possible and make sure you're not just wasting your time. You notice I missed a bomb there. That's going to happen to you as well. I don't know. I've practiced a million times. I still miss it. I make this jump, which is nice, and then we're just spitting damage as much as possible. Other than that, this fight goes relatively smoothly. You'll notice that there's some dead spots where he does his little charge there that you can land, as well as make sure you stay close to him. I tried to do the parry there to try and look cool because, you know, recording for a YouTube video, but I missed it because guess what? I got no timing, but that's okay. It wasn't my cleanest fight, but I knew I was ending my run after this one, so I played a little loosey-goosey. If you're someone who's trying to go farther into your runs or trying to go deep, make sure you try and play a little bit safer, but that's on you. That's your personal preference. But this one's going to end pretty quick here. So with that being said, ladies and gents, this has been the rundown of Hellfire Cliff. I did something a little bit different this time, so feel free to give me all the feedback. If you like it, if you didn't like it, let me know. Keep me posted. I appreciate all feedback from it, and I will always try and change it up and make it better as we go through. So that being said, appreciate y'all. If you want to leave a like, appreciate it. If you want to subscribe, appreciate it as well. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.